Well, hello. This is Jim Morgan. I'm with Caring Transitions, and this is Life's Co-Pilot. And today we were scheduled to have Michael Calloway, who is creating a really cool new project that he's trying to put together, where he's going to be working with kind of as a liaison, almost like an employment agency for seniors and for corporations and businesses, where he can come in and help kind of bridge that gap and basically educate how the businesses can benefit from having a senior employees, and then he's going to coach the senior employees into how to be better in that process, as well as be more hireable or what have you. So anyway, that was the plan. We intend to get that done. Michael's having some uh, health issues at the very moment, so he's not going to be with us today. So I want to talk a little bit about an easy button for seniors, for seniors' families and caregivers when it comes to downsizing, liquidating, moving, relocating, all the different things that come up. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about it from what we do at Caring Transitions to kind of give you an idea where we can be of service to people. Caring Transitions is the largest this is the elevator speech, this largest senior relocation and um, relocation and uh, liquidation company in the country. We got like 400 franchises across the United States. So basically, what we do is we basically help people, families, help that senior declutter, help them sort and organize what they want to take with them, what they don't want to take with them. If we're going to move them into, a downsized apartment, a downsized condo, maybe they're going to move to assisted living, we will come in. Now, these are, this is the full service of things we do, or you can, use it like an easy button, do all that, or you can come in and say, well, we just want a little bit of this and a little bit of that, like a smorgasbord or a cafeteria. So, for instance, we can come into that permanent person's house that they're getting ready to downsize. We can go look at their apartment. We will measure all the shelving space they have in their kitchen, in their closets, and then we can go in and help them determine what stuff will fit. Basically how to, this many clothes, this many dishes, whatever it is, we can help them do that. We can then um, help them stage that space plan for the new place to know what they can take, what they cannot. We will help pack them. We'll move them. We can move someone literally from, down the hall from assisted living to memory care, or we could move someone to California. It doesn't matter. Right now, I'm working on helping with a family where mom and dad live in Carmel, and their grown son and daughter-in-law live in Westfield. They're both moving to the same town in Florida, so we're coordinating packing and moving both houses, moving them both down to Florida. We're probably going to do a storage unit for a while because one's moving sooner than the other, but it's going to save them a huge amount of money if they can take it down in one trip rather than two separate trips. So we do whatever somebody needs. So we can get them moved into the new place. This is something that we do that I am a huge advocate for. Is the resettling process. We go in and put all the pictures on the walls, put the stuff back in the closets, put the things in the drawers, make it home. So when the senior moves into the house that first night, it's home. It's already done. They're not living out of boxes. There's not, you're lowering that stress down significantly. And so that's something we do. I'm a big advocate of that because I had screwed that up so badly for a family member. This was before I got into Caring Transition, before I got into the scene. I was a consumer for senior stuff for 20 years with my in-laws, my parents, my uncle. I'm the only sibling that stayed in the state of Indiana, so I got to do all that stuff. But when it came down to the time where we were then trying to figure out, we were moving my uncle. He had a bit of a stroke, so it only affected his balance a little bit. I'd been trying to get him out of this upstairs apartment in a neighborhood that had gone downhill. There were drug deals going on and stuff in the parking lot. I could not get him out of there. The stairs, I come from a building background, the stairs I knew were dangerous. They were not to code. And I kept waiting to get a phone call that he had fallen down. So he was 87 at the time. And but he had a stroke, and I'm going, well, you're not doing those stairs anymore. You can't do a walker on those stairs and take groceries. So I was trying to get him into assisted living, but he ended up not wanting to go. So we moved into an apartment on the first floor. So we moved him in, but we didn't button it up. It was during a time of year that my wife is she's the head makeup artist at the Indie Screen Park. So every night from mid-September to November, she's making blood and gore and ghouls and zombies and what have you. So I said, when we get her back, we'll come in and pretty it up, decorate it, what have you. Well, he went into a massive depression. He didn't tell me that anything was wrong, but he went into a massive depression living out of, he had everything he needed, but there were some boxes of stuff that were not things he was going to use every day, but just the concept freaked him out. And he ended up doing 2 stints in the senior psych ward, tried to commit suicide. Then the psychiatrist told us that if he could get into assisted living, if he could get into a more structured, more social situation, he thought he'd be fine. So we did this where we basically did a reveal in this apartment. The first time he saw it, it was completed. And where he went from a very, very dark space, going into that, he became like the poster child for success. He was the president of the garden club. He was a member of the residence board. He was an ambassador to help greet people and do things. He made all the flower arrangements for the Sunday morning services. He was Mr. Social, Mr. Success there. And he just passed. And at the funeral, I was thanking the Winmore Senior Living, because they literally saved his life in that new environment. But most people don't understand the value. That senior that's been in their same home for decades and then being disrupted and moving to another place is, statistically, they say, is one of the most stressful times of their lives, even more so than losing a spouse. And so a lot of times will go into depression. So it's really critical, if you don't have someone like us prep that room and make it ready, you do it and make sure it's done. If someone has dementia, photograph where they were before and then replicate it as literally as much as the geography allows you to do, so that they don't wake up in a new environment every day, so they can kind of feel home. So anyway, that's a diversion there, but we can help people get back into that new house. And again, we can do it if it's here in town. If it's going to be across the country, there's probably another Caring Transitions. We'll photograph things, send it to them, they'll put it together, and vice versa. So we do decluttering, we do sorting and organizing, we do document shredding, we do space planning, packing and moving, we do unpacking, resettling, we help you liquidate the excess stuff. We can do estate sales, we can do online auctions, we can do total cleanouts, we do hoarder cleanouts. So it really kind of comes down to what someone needs. We can literally get that solution done for them, help them get to that next level. If it gets into like the estate sales, I'll be real frank with you, we can do estate sales. I'm not real sure that they're a 2025 kind of thing. They're very expensive, labor intensive to do. And the results are limited to what the weather's like that day, kind of like who's, if there's a big game on that day, to get who comes into the house. I also don't know that they're necessarily safe, because you're basically inviting everybody into that particular place. I have a chip on my shoulder. My mom's neighbor, when she was still living at home, had like 2 garage sales in a row and 2 weekends in a row at their house next door. And then my mom got robbed right afterwards, because people were able to stake out this little old lady with her little King Charles Cavalier walking around in the yard, and they saw a target. So it's something you need to be very careful of. Online auctions, for instance, the difference is we can do an estate sale if it makes sense, and I will guide you through that process where I think it makes sense for people. If you have An estate sale, you're going to have to come in and do all the setting up and staging and all that kind of stuff. You're going to do the sale. People have been conditioned in estate sales that the first day everything's retail, the second day everything's 50% off. So they cherry pick the very best things maybe the first day, and then they come back and buy things at half off. So, and then about the end of the day on estate sales, normally you have about, I don't know, 40% of the stuff left over that you still got to figure out what you're going to do with. You're going to clean it out. It's going to be an additional challenge. Take it to Goodwill, take it to a dump, whatever. With an online auction, what we've been able to do is we've been able to get about 98% of the stuff out of the house. The really cool stuff, and just even maybe just garden chemicals. We can put a package together. They may not sell for a lot, but they go. So on the online auctions, like I said, we're getting about 98% out. What we're finding is that most people are finding that they have that we can basically keep their costs down. We have like 3 different niches that are the bulk of the people that we work with. We have one. This is a big portion. We got a lot of people who have mom or dad's or grandma's house that they need to get cleaned out. It could be they've moved them to assisted living. Maybe they've passed into an estate, but they need to get that house cleaned out so they can either quit paying rent or that they can get the real asset for that family in the real estate value of the house. And they need to get the stuff out so that they can capitalize on that. With that said, we have a lot of people they really don't have a lot of stuff that's particularly exciting in there that's going to bring a lot of money. I always would love to get a chance to talk to people before they start cleaning out. A lot of times families will come in, clean out the closets, clean out the cabinets, clean out all the junk they think, and they'll take it to Goodwill or they'll bring in a dumpster. And they do that before they call us to come in to sell the good stuff. Well, unfortunately, they may not have a handle on what's the market is going for right now. They'll keep the big, beautiful dining room table that very few people want. They'll keep the china cabinet that the only people that want are bourbon collectors, and because they could buy it cheap and display their stuff. Because you paid a lot of money for it 20 years ago doesn't mean that it's still desirable in today's marketplace. But they'll give away the Fiesta ware, they'll give away the Corning ware, they'll give away the stuff that'll go for hundreds of dollars. And so I run into that far too often. It's like, please let me come in and give you guidance on what to throw away and what not to throw away, because you may be costing yourself the money to get that house transitioned. So a lot of times our goal is kind of a compassionate clean out where we help people use the stuff that's in the house to pay to get the stuff out of the house. Okay. And that works pretty well. So in many cases, the client gets their stuff cleaned out. It does not go into landfill. It goes to someone else that's going to use it. And it doesn't cost them anything to get the house done, or maybe they might even make $1 or $2, So that's one niche. On another niche, it might be there's things that have very high level of emotional value. It's like every time you think of mom or dad or grandpa, you think of this particular hobby or this particular passion of theirs. Well, the idea of discarding it seems like sacrilege. And so we have a big audience. The way we market our auctions, we're getting between 10 and 20,000 viewers on each auction. And so we get a big audience. So if they had that passion, if they have that collection, if they have that thing, there's a real good chance we're going to find someone else that has that as well. And we can honor that moving it forward so the family feels really good about the fact that they have honored the things that were meaningful to their loved ones. And then we also have, if you got really cool stuff, there's things that are really hot. Mid-century modern, there's things like that it could be very desirable in the marketplace. We just did a sale that had a lot of mid-century modern and saying, some kind of very unique items like that. It was just a house. It was nothing, it wasn't something you would go, oh my God, this is a lot of nice stuff. It was very niche stuff, but it was a hot niche stuff. So that particular house, we had, it was a $40,000 sale. Okay. And so our average sale is more like, 8 to 10, but it was like a $40,000 sale. And so that client got a really nice big check. And then when we had clients, there was a antique, well, it was a 73 Cadillac Eldorado in there that had not been run in 20 years, hadn't been started in 20 years. So you're gonna have to go through a lot of mechanicals on it. But it went to Scottsdale, Arizona. The exotic car dealer sent a transport to go pick it up. We had a bunch of mid-century modern furniture and lamps and things like that. A guy from Albuquerque, New Mexico, drove out with a trailer to buy, bought several $1,000s of that because he sells and leases props to movies. So, we have a big reach. So that's kind of where that can come into play. So at the end of the day, normally we've gotten rid of most of it. I'm going to do a real quick screen share here real quick and see if I can do something. Okay, so basically, this is just kind of an idea of stuff that we do. Our average sale, this was recently we just pulled this numbers together, was 88, 96, 60 items sold out of the sale, 98.8%. So that basically covers cleaning out the house. We were able to normally get it done where there's where did I go with my thing here? Here we go. So take the share off. Okay. Whether that's right or not. But anyway, so in any case, these are the things that we do. We basically can help people get to that place where they can make it as easy as possible. This is a stressful time in anybody's life. You're going through an estate. When you're trying to clean out that estate, you get emotionally tied up. I know that when we were doing, cleaning out my mom's place, she was still alive. She's still alive, moved to assisted living, but it was still the family home for 50 years. And so when we were in there, it was my son and I doing it. This was before we got in this business, but we were doing it because we were the only ones in town. And it was the first 3 days, it was so overwhelming. We got nothing done. We just looked at things, picked things up, got absorbed in memories, and got nothing done. And then we realized we had to get our butt together and get this thing done. So that's kind of what we do. So basically, we're there to try to help make this transition as easily as possible. We can work with you to do things. A lot of times I'm coming in, I'm meeting with people. In fact, I just got off the phone with a gentleman that we've met, and his mom had just moved to assisted living, and then unfortunately they lost her in the interim here, and now they've gone out and shopped other auction companies and stuff, and realized that they want us to do this. So we're going to come in and help them through that process, get that house cleaned out, get it to the next level, hopefully to where hopefully we're going to be writing them a check at the end, and they'll be making some money on top of this. But I will try to tell you in our first meeting whether I think you're going to make money, or if we can just use your stuff to get your stuff out. So those are the kind of things that we do. And then of course, you're watching this video today on Life's Copilot. We created Life's Copilot as a gift to our consumers and to seniors. It's so hard navigating all the stuff that's out there, so that we basically have created a portal. You go to lifescopilot.com and you can find videos of different services and programs. We've got elder law attorneys. We have Parkinson's movement specialists, neurologists. We have all these different people on those videos over the years to teach things that can be done to help your family. We also have a Life's Copilot YouTube page that has all these videos. It's easy to access on that as well. So guys, I just want to thank you for being here today. I kind of decided to jump in and use this as an opportunity to talk to you, because and we will do what we can to get Mike back in here for us. Let me see one thing real quick again. I'm going to do a share, and I'm going to take a look at something. Let's see. Get Life's Copilot up here, and let's just see what's up here. Other events coming up. We've got on the 25th, we have Jamie Olson, who's the editor of Uniquely You magazine, and it's with families that have special needs, and it's a magazine that's there to support them. She'll be here on the 25th doing this. On the 13th of March, we have another one coming up, and this one is going to be Caring for the Caregiver. It's a new program that's really pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to sharing this with people. And then we have, I just booked one for the next one, and I'll be getting that up on the online before too long. So right now, this is Life's Copilot. You can come here, and there's blogs that are available. There's, you know, a library of terminologies. There's a video library. There's, you know, events coming up. So there's things, you've got partners here, people that can help you. So anyway, guys, thanks for sharing. Thanks for being here. I'm glad to see some people here. If you have any questions, please get a hold of me. 317-610-7458 or jmorgan at caringtransitions.com. Or if you go on Life's Copilot and you hit you know, a Copilot, request a Copilot information, you get me as well. And then when it comes to Copilot, I work with a lot of different senior providers and different services. I know a little bit about a lot, but I know who knows a lot about a little. So I'll get you with the people that you need to talk to. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot for being here, and we will talk soon.